Hi everyone, I'm Keiron Grice, and I'm here to talk to you about my upcoming course at the Cosmos Institute starting in January 2025. The course is called Archetypal Astrology, the Spiritual Dimension. So I'll just say briefly what those terms mean, because you might not be familiar, particularly with archetypal astrology. As the name suggests, archetypal astrology uses astrology's methods and practices to help us understand the expression of archetypes in our lives, in our experience. Archetypes, I'm drawing mostly on Carl Jung's understanding of what archetypes are. We could think of them briefly, like for short, as universal powers, universal principles in our experience. So universals, things like love, freedom, the urge to be free, is something that everyone experiences. We experience that in our own unique way, but everyone experiences the urge to be free. And then specific Jungian archetypes that I'm sure you've come across: shadow, anima and animus, rebirth, the hero, the wise old man. Astrology allows us to map the heavens, as it were, and based on an assumed correlation between planetary positions, planets in the solar system, and the archetypes in the depths of our inner experience in the unconscious. We can track the movements of the planets at specific moments of time and see how they're related to each other. And that tells us something important about how the archetypes that are correlated with the planets are related to each other. I think if I give you an example, Pluto in astrology is to do with, among other things, power, power drive, will, depth, transformation, a kind of evolutionary and natural elemental power that we all experience. So if we understand how the planet Pluto is related to other planets in the sky geometrically, that can help us understand how we ourselves are related to the power drive in our own life. Where do we seek power and influence? Where and how might we undergo a death rebirth in our own lives? So very simply, that's what the course is about. And I'm applying archetypal astrology to what I call the spiritual dimension of life, or the transpersonal dimension. Spiritual is a somewhat fuzzy term to define, but I think it implies those elements of reality, of our experience, that transcend our personal consciousness, our awareness, transcend our control and will. Jung uses the term numinous quite often to describe archetypes. Numinous suggests spiritual power, majesty, awe, these kinds of experiences. So the spiritual dimension of life is all those things that are the subject of religions, myths, and depth psychologies, transpersonal psychologies. So I'm applying astrology in this course specifically to understand the different dimensions of spiritual life, such as awakening, epiphany, descent into the underworld, and the experience of being figuratively at least dismembered and put back together, dark nights of the soul, loss of faith, which is also spiritual in its own way. So, if you think of the range of different kinds of experiences and processes we might encounter on the spiritual journey, during the individuation process, as Jung calls it, they're markedly different. And astrology allows us to understand which of those themes, which of those experiences are most prominent in our lives, biographically, in our personalities, and which are most prominent month by month, year by year in our lives. That's called transit astrology. You can look at where the planets are moving moment to moment, and that can give us insight into why one time we might have a profound cosmic epiphany or a revelation of divine love, and another time we might feel like we've lost all faith and we're alienated and wandering through the dark. And that kind of meaning, that kind of framework orientation can be really valuable, obviously, when we're trying to navigate our own psycho-spiritual journeys.